Lions, Jags, this Sunday. Let's Talk Lions. Welcome back to an all-new episode here at Let's Talk Lions. My name is Jay. Thank you for hanging out. I have been sick all week. It has been terrible, so finally feeling a little bit better enough at least to make a video coming off that Buffalo Bills loss. A lot has to be said. I'm going to just keep this baby brief today as we got the game tomorrow. Looking back at the Buffalo Bills coming here to town and looking at what we did to them, looking at our defense, how we were able to really attack Josh Allen, shut down the receivers. Quite frankly, I am so impressed by the leaps and bounds that our defense has made this season in the back half. Really, ever since the AP firing, which does say a lot and makes me tip my cap to Brad Holmes, where it was a decision earlier between Holmes, Campbell, that I did not like, that I look back now, and only good things have come since that. So that does need to be recognized. Happy to say I was wrong regarding it. It looks like ever since AP going, the defense has been really stepping up in new ways, which is quite intriguing as a whole. But hey, the Lions against the Bills, what a game. It was just thrilling. It was a thrilling experience to see us compete with a Super Bowl caliber, not even quotation marks, a Super Bowl caliber team. Watching the Lions come out, and I know that the Bills had only had one day of practice after the whole snowstorm debacle where they were here, but we looked great in comparison to a Super Bowl caliber team. But that is something that we have noticed this season, is how we have lost to all of these playoff contending teams, and then all the teams that are not playoff contenders, seeing the Lions beat them. It does show where we are in the pack, where you have playoff teams, us, not playoff teams. We're like right on that brink of potential wild card, which is really where we're sitting at 4-7, is potential wild card. When I look at the rest of the season, I'm just going to say for what it is, I'm not worried about one single team. I'm really not. You look at the Jags, winnable. I look at the Jets, winnable. Look at Minnesota. Hear me out, winnable. We should have beat them earlier in the season. However, Dan Campbell made some decisions that really shot us in the foot, and we lose that game. I'm not afraid of Minnesota. Green Bay, Chicago. I mean, you're looking at a schedule in which the Lions could very realistically, and I hate to use that word, but realistically, win out. All these teams, not one of them, the Panthers, not one of them scares me. These are 6 very winnable games. Now, is that something that the Lions can do, go on a 6-game run? Gonna be really tough, especially looking at Jacksonville right now. They seem to be getting in stride. They seem to be making the steps forward, kind of very similar and a mirror image of Detroit, where we are, where we've been. Trevor Lawrence is getting into a groove. Trevor Lawrence looked great last week against Baltimore. He looked like the number one pick that everybody had been expecting him to be. Last year was a travesty for Jacksonville fans. I am sorry for all of you having to endure Urban Meyer. Jacksonville's on a run right now where they're looking good. They are making great strides forward. It is going to be a really tough, brutal matchup because I think both of these teams sort of mirror one another. Now, again, though we lost, we had a 3-game win streak. We lost against the Bills. People might say like, oh man, that's going to kill the momentum. I don't think it does. I think seeing us and seeing what Hutchinson, seeing James Houston come out there, Jerry Jacobs, seeing these guys show up against the Buffalo Bills and prove, hey, we are in it. We are fighting neck and neck with a team that we left 23 seconds on the clock and lost to, says a lot about where we are progressing, where we're going. So really against Jacksonville, I think we win this game. Truly. And then going on from there, I think the Lions could truly, realistically win out. Now, I know some of you guys could be saying, hey man, there's a lot of blue Kool-Aid in his veins. I'm just going to say it's the coffee and the cute Christmas mug that's doing it. Or I'll blame it on the sickness. We only have two guys that are considered out tomorrow, being Evan Brown and Julian Okwara. Will we actually see the return of Romeo this week? I have not heard anything, but I'll tell you what, because I know we all thinking it. Just like you, I watched every single possible video clip of any single angle we could get of Jameson Williams at practice. That was beautiful. I just kept hitting refresh over and over again, looking for any angle I could see of him. His speed looks out of this world. Seeing him line up, and I think it was with St. Brown, and I don't know who the other guy was. Couldn't quite tell, couldn't see the number. All three of them running and watching Jameson Williams take off on that flyaway. His vertical, he is going to be such an asset to this already great offense. Man, you just got to hope Jared Goff can hit him. You just got to hope Goff can throw far enough for our guy to make some plays. Hoping to see him just take a couple. I think of like Tre'Davious White from the Bills, who took two series. He took two sets against the Browns. Then he came out. He played all last week against the Pats. It'll be that type of thing. I'm really hoping we see him. We see Jameson Williams out there for a couple series, one or two series, just to get his feet under him, give him a couple snaps, and then the following week, seeing Jameson Williams out there torching it on the sideline. This is all exciting. All in all, just wanted to kind of touch base, see where we're at. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who's winning tomorrow? Lions or Jags? And do you think that realistically the Lions can go on a run here? Because I do. I mean, it's more than possible. This is the part of the schedule that before the season began, I was like, man, this could be, a 3-3 split. Now looking at it, and it's not the Kool-Aid. It's looking at those teams saying they're not any better than us. I think we're better than Green Bay, better than Chicago, not better than Minnesota, obviously. However, we had Minnesota in a position earlier this year where we should have won. Therefore, I look and I'm like, we could do it. We could do it. I don't want to get your hopes up too high, but realistically speaking, even if it's not for this year, we have so much to be excited about in the future. Between Hutch, Kirby Joseph, Malcolm Rodriguez, James Houston coming out and getting 2 sacks on Josh Allen, Jerry Jacobs, Jeff Okudah, like the young guys on our squad, there's a future here in Detroit. But that is it. That is it for today. Glad to be back, not being so sick anymore. Because, you know what? That's not fun. Felt like I was like a pressure cooker up in my head, like an easy bake oven, just trying to bake like a pineapple upside down cake for 24 hours with a 60-watt light bulb. It wasn't good.